Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Fun Friend Friday and Success Coaching Live. My name is Reid, and I am your success coach, and I am so glad you have joined us this morning for Fun Friend Friday. So feel free to take a minute and log in and say hello. Hello, everybody, and good morning. It is Friday, and it is time for our Fun Friend Friday, and there she is right there. Good morning, Louie. Good morning, Jean. We have got so much going on today. We are going to start Fun Friend Friday here in just a minute. Do remember that we are still in the month of February and we're doing the I am statements. Statements that remind us about who we are and what we do and how we get it done. So make sure you're taking a minute and doing I am statements each and every day and then collecting them. And I keep mine here on my desk, so every time I sort of need a little bit of thought and inspiration, I can grab my I am statements. Remind me of my strengths, like I am a getter-upper, I am proud, I'm intentional, I am loved, and I am not my past. And so sometimes just reading those will help us get us refocused and back on track and into our day each and every day. So that is what we're doing in February. I apologize. Don't forget to do them. And then at the end of the month, you're going to end up with, good morning, Jane Gross. I need to talk to you soon. At the end of the month, we're going to have 28 affirmations about who we are and what we love about ourselves. And we can then keep them as a collection because we all have moments where it's just too much, too big, too large for us to get over. And taking a moment and reading through 28 takes what? Maybe a minute, 2 minutes to read through. Helps us get resettled and refocused. And so that's what I love about them. And February is a great month to discover love and discover loving self and giving self grace. And doing so in a focused manner is what we're about because being successful is about being intentional. Now, my guest, Miss Jean, I'm going to invite her here in a minute. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Diane. I think I saw Melanie up there as well. She has got a busy morning, so she asked if we could do a really quick Fun Friend Friday. I want to keep her on schedule. She's a busy mom with 2 kids and career and building her JMT business. And so let me do this quickly. I'm just going to swipe over and find Jean. Where are you, Jean? I know you're here. Jean, it's fiddling with me. There we go. Let me try again. Go ahead and ask to join, Jean. For some reason, it's fighting back with me. So go ahead and make sure you're live on Facebook and you're turned this way. Hopefully you are on your cell phone so that we can do it. I'm going to try one more time to add you. For some reason, it wasn't letting me add you a minute ago. Looks like your camera's not turned on for some reason, according to Facebook. So take a minute and log in through your cell phone, and then it will let me see your camera, and then I will be able to join you or add you. So good morning, Dr. Lowe. I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Lowe the other day. She was doing a bit of a podcast interview kind of thing. And I tell you, it was supposed to be about 30 minutes. And I think we talked for about an hour and a half because she just had so much value. Y'all need to check out her Riot Starter program. She's reprogrammed my mind about being a Riot Starter. And I know she can do the same for you. Let me check one more time with Jean and see if I can add her in. Jean, do me a favor. If you're on your laptop, switch to your cell phone and then log in through Facebook. For some reason, it's not recognizing your camera. Or it's not letting me add you by camera mode. So while we set up and wait for Jean, let me just do this real quick. See, y'all tired of seeing my little finger here? But let me try one more time to bring Jean in. Yep, for some reason, Jean, it's not letting me add you, and it may be because you're not in Facebook mode, or Facebook this way on your cell phone. If you're working on your laptop, sometimes the laptops don't like to play along, and so that's why we use the cell phone. So just a little learning lesson. So if you guys want to start doing this, if you want to start doing podcasts or interviews or things like that, this is a great tool. Yeah. Jean, you're on the wrong system, so you're going to have to switch to your phone real quick, and then it will let me do it, and then have your phone facing you. Can't wait for your teaching. Jean, you are the teacher. So anyhow, this is a great tool. So both phones need to be in landscape mode. Both phones need to be in selfie mode, and then you simply wait for the person to show up. They'll have a little camera next to their face, and then boom, you invite them, and then you have side-by-side screen. It's funny, some of you may not know, but I am in the middle of transitioning my life, my family, everything around. We have moved from Uruguay. We are moving to the U.S. We actually have started the process on Monday. So toting 2 kids and a family and suitcases. We look like the official international travelers, the ones that everybody brings, those body bag level suitcases. And my 8-year-old, my 7-year-old were trying to push the carts through the airport. And yeah, I think there's dead bodies in the airport where they got run over by my kids pushing the carts. But hey, we were that family. And then we checked into a hotel, and I thought, oh, this is going to be chaos. And the kids have loved being in the hotel, actually, while we wait to close on the house. They've gone on adventure days. They went to the swimming pool, and then they went and walked around. And they've turned it into like their own private palace. They've informed me that you can get food downstairs and that you can go swimming, and then you can get more food and bring it to your room and watch TV. So they're totally loving it. We close on the house today, and then we start moving in over the next week or so. One of the things that I want to encourage you guys, when you're going through stress and you're going through changes like this, is really stay grounded to the simple things. Stay grounded to those basic things that you know you need to get done every day. Don't try and take on the entire universe. Don't try and accomplish everything. What is the 1 or 2 things that you need to accomplish today to be able to move forward, to be able to get to the end of the day, to keep everybody in line? Now remember, my state, which state? Oh, I'm in Georgia. I'm up the street from Todd. Todd and I are going to do all kinds of crazy things. So what I realized is I was trying to move the mountains. And we talked the other day about passengers versus participants in our life. And last night, it was one of those moments that the kids were all excited to show me everything that they had discovered about the hotel and then the shopping and this and that. And I thought, you know what? I need to just get off my laptop, close my notebooks, and go be a part of this. Because to me, it's not a big memory. It's not a big event being in a hotel. I mean, it's just a hotel. But for them, this is like a whole new experience. And so it was fun to be able to slow down and see the experience through their eyes and participate at their level. And they really had a good time showing it off. So when you're in chaos, when you're in transition, when you're in change, first slow down, recognize the people around you, take care of what they need, and then also do the basic things, do the fundamental things. So often we may have a 2-hour workout, or we try and go to spin class and then go to hot aerobics and then go do all this. You know what? Just get that 30 minutes of private time to walk and meditate and do the things you need to do. Get back into your journals and writing your affirmations. Get back into the little details that you know will keep you baseline driven, so that when the chaos and commotion settles, you don't have to restart. You just have to amp it up to another level. And what I mean by that is often we put everything on hold, like our diet, our exercise program, our devotionals, our private time, our meditation, because we have this big thing right in front of us that we think we have to focus on. And then when the big thing is gone, we have to start over in learning new habits and learning new patterns and learning new routines. And we can't do it. It's challenging enough coming out of all of that stress of change, but then to try and recreate a new momentum, that's where a lot of people fail. So if you just do the very basic things you need to do every single day to stay connected to those bigger things, like 5 minutes of meditation instead of 30 minutes of walking instead of an hour at the gym, eating one healthy meal instead of all healthy meals, then when it's time for that big thing to move to the side, you're back in the mindset and the pattern and the beliefs that you can still accomplish it, and then you just amp it up to the next level. I'm going to check one more time here with Miss Jean. I don't know where she's gone. Jean, if you are here, just do me a quick hello. I know she said earlier this morning she was having internet trouble as well. And so stick with the fundamentals. Exactly. You guys, we had Miss Helen last week as our Fun Friend Friday. I'm sorry, Todd, then Helen. And then we've had Diane and Melanie and Dr. Holly Kelly and so many other great people. I'm going to encourage you guys, if to find a coach, find a thought leader, find a mentor in your life so that you can have somebody to be a companion with on this journey of success that you're seeking. There we go. There's Miss Jean. And here she comes. Now just click accept, Jean, and you should be added. Hit accept. It's saying adding. If you guys can't see it on my side, it keeps saying adding Jean. Come on, Jean, hit the accept button and we will be here. I feel like I should be singing and dancing or doing something crazy. Let me try one more time with you, Jean. Go, Jean. Yeah, Melanie, I think, had the same problem the first time. I know. There she is. Ta-da! Let me try one more time.
Yes.
There you go. Good. Go, Jean. I know. Yeah, you have to turn down the light.
Hello. Finally, nice to be live.
There you go. Have your
Good.
as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have to turn down the light.
Hello. Finally, nice to be live.
There you go. Have your
Good.
as well.
Oh my God. You want me to turn down the lights?
Yeah.
Good.
Stop volume. Play echo.
You want me to turn down the lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Buttons, baby, buttons. Technology is amazing. It is. Good morning. There we go. There's your friend Anu. Good morning, everybody. Say a quick good morning to Miss Jean.
Hello, friends. Hi. How are you? Great.
So I know you have a busy morning and you asked if we could do the envelopes just straight out of the box so you could just go straight into your lesson. Are you good with that?
Absolutely. You take
All right.
it.
So I know at John Maxwell 2 years ago. I think it's 2 years. About 2 years ago, I think we met at a John Maxwell event. And then we've been friends in coaching and we've shared teaching lessons. And so I'm very proud of her because she didn't want to do Facebook. And I challenged her to do one Facebook and 30 Facebooks. And then she said, well, how many did you do your first challenge? And I said, I did 100 Facebooks in a row. And you're on what, number 78 now?
Yeah, 68, 10 short.
68 in a row. And if you haven't done Facebook Live and you haven't done a consistent, dedicated, persistent kind of life, I challenge you to try and keep up with Jean and her 100-day challenge because now she's on 68. What is the one thing you've learned or grown through as you've been doing the Facebook Lives?
Oh, consistency is a big thing. And when John Maxwell talks about consistency compounds, he was not joking.
So I remember your first one and you called me and you're like, I'm deleting it. It was so bad. I'm never going to do it again. And I said, no, you have to leave it up there. And now it's so funny when I watch you because you just like step in the camera like you do it for full-time living.
And you know what? I wish I did, but I want to thank you because you're right. And you did such a fulsome encouragement at that time. You told me it was one of the best Facebook Lives just so that I could go out there and share the message. And I remember every time I was discouraged, I would remember the people who signed on, who logged on, who shared, their feedback with me. Like I said, people moved jobs, they decided to move countries, they decided to relook at retirement. There was so much of impact. Every time I was discouraged, I just had to step back and say, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the other person who wants to listen. So that was my encouragement. And I want to thank you, Eric, for that.
Oh, you're welcome. But what did you all catch it? Once we stepped out of doing it for ourselves and we started doing it for others, that fear, that ego, that pride that we were worried about getting damaged or beat up or shown badly on Facebook or whatever medium, speaking, coaching we're doing, she was able to say, you know what, I don't care how bad I look. I don't care how foolish it all falls apart. You know, like the tumbling and fumbling kind of thing. She was able to say, you know, wait a minute, I'm doing this for somebody else and know that receive the message as they're supposed to receive the message. And I don't have to be a part of it. And you have now done 15 laws. And everybody communicates.
Yes, yes.
And then the second.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and the second one you're doing is everybody communicates, few people connect, correct?
I finished that. And I'm on to my third book, which is Intentional Living.
So what she does, if you guys are looking for a book partner, a learning partner, and or if you're thinking of doing this yourself, she just took the 15 laws and she was like, I'm going to read a law at the night before, which helped with the discipline, the personal growth, the training and the development that she wants to create in her life. She said, I'm just going to read the law and then I'm just going to talk to people about how this law impacted me or how I'm going to implement the law or what the law needs to be about in my life. And through that, she was able to grow because she had to reflect, but she was also able to grow as a speaker and a coach because she had to learn to deliver the content in a way that it could be received by somebody. And then her audience or her friends and her fans were able to grow because they were getting the golden nuggets, the big meat. And so often I ask people, you know, when was the last time you read a book? And they're like, when did I graduate high school? So by having somebody like Jean who does one of the John Maxwell series and be able to coach and teach you through it each and every morning, that's like, you know, hey, I think the way you do it is so good too, because you'll tell the lesson sort of from the academic side that I know you always have, but then you'll bring it to the personal side about what can I do, how can I implement this, and what it means to me. So I am very proud of you and your success and the courage that you've displayed, because just as I'm just going to tap on her, she would call me and she'd be like, I can't. She'd be like all scared and wobbly and nervous. And, you know, I just kept like kicking her out, you know, kicking her into the street saying, go do it. You got it. And now when I tune in, like I said, you are gifted and natural at your delivery.
Thank you, Eric. And it was a journey of learning. It was a journey of patience. It was a journey of faith, most important, faith and belief. That
Well, and faith in you that you had something to add and something to share too.
absolutely. I often struggle with that. Who am I? Question. Like, who am I to share the light? Who am I to speak into somebody? Who am I? I often struggle with that. And those are the two voices, often, if you've read. And it is giving value to the voice that says, that's okay, even if it is one person at a time, one act at a time, that's making a difference. That's taking you closer than Father. That's taking you closer to where you were. And even right now, when I'm doing a mastermind with friends, I just reminded them yesterday, I said, you know what, we might not see the whole picture, but it was something we were not doing yesterday. So it's something new we're doing today, something new we are achieving. It's something new that we are discovering within ourselves. So that's for me and for the others.
Well, and I will say before we start our envelopes here in a moment, if you have not seen the movie Pay It Forward, that's a perfect example of how one person making one action without really watching the outcome or anticipating the outcome or trying to be a part of the outcome can change the world. And so every time I watch that, I cry. I just can't but love that movie. And so I think that's part of what you've discovered in doing your Facebook Lives is that I'm just one person connecting to one person, and they may connect to another person. And at the end of time, we'll see all the candle lights in the field.
Absolutely. You hit it right there.
So for those of you who haven't seen a Fun Friend Friday, and I can't think of why you haven't, but now that you're here, first you have to go share it out so everybody can take a moment and hear Jean's wisdom. And then what we will do, take a moment, share it out, you guys, hit the share button. What we do is we have these envelopes, and Jean gets to pick a leadership word from the envelope and then teach on it for about 5 minutes. And so here we go. The first envelope, orange star, blue diamond, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, yellow moon, red balloon, green clover, rainbow, and pink heart. Now, yes, these are the Lucky Charms marshmallow cereal symbols. And it was so funny. I was at the grocery store the other day, and they had this whole box of Lucky Charms for St. Patrick's Day, and I think they were all green clovers. And I thought, oh, I can't play my game during the week of St. Patrick's Day. So we got to do the theme music while you think about your envelope.
Sure.
Thank you for
being
afraid. Travel down the road and back again.
So take a minute, share it out, and then Jean's going to pick her envelope, everybody. So have you been thinking about your envelope?
Yes, yes. No. What?
All right, Jean, what is your envelope?
Diane will add the red balloon for you. I'll go with rainbow just because my daughter likes rainbow. Yes.
All right. So maybe this is the challenging. Oh, I can see through the back of the envelope. So, so like we always say, we have to do this the Steve Harvey way and make sure that everybody sees the word the same time I do. Otherwise, they think I cheated. So the word you pick for your leadership lesson is balance.
Wow.
So a mom of two and a full-time career and building a John Maxwell business, coaching, speaking, training business, and the 900 other things you do. So teach us about balance.
Wow, it is so divinely ordained. But the word balance is so close because I'm a Libran. And for all of you who are Librans and struggle with the two scale syndrome, you will know it's your lifelong goal. It's your lifelong goal to be balanced. You will try to balance with friends, family, your goals, your desires, balance personal growth with family growth, family time, adding value. You, it's almost like you rigged this, Eric. Okay, balance.
No,
So balance for me, I think is the essence of life. Um, because if you're not balanced, one area of life is going to burst. If you're not balanced, one area of life is going to go down. If you're not, and for me, to step back, and Eric, that's your teaching for today. To step back, take a moment, take a deep breath, reevaluate your goals, reevaluate what you're doing and why you're doing. Sometimes it's in the middle of your lunch break. Just step back and say, you know what? I'm overwhelmed. Let me just breathe down and breathe in and say, wait, why am I here? And how is this helping me towards my goal? Those are tricks that help me stay balanced. Those are tricks that help me be congruent to the path that I want to be on. So balance is such a huge word for me. And I thank you for putting that in one of your lucky charms.
So one of the things that we've talked about, because as we've shared this discussion, is that sometimes we can't be in balance for the day, but we could be in balance for the week or for the month. And right now there is a lot of transition sometimes, and you'll be out of balance for the day, but what you have to do is become mindful of being back in balance for whether the week, the month, or whatever it is. So again, as we're talking about during February, having that heart of grace and giving yourself grace is being able to say, it's okay to be out of balance in this right now because I'm aware and mindful of it. I'll return to it at the end of the day, at the end of the week, over the weekend. I will reestablish that balance.
And Eric, Diane asked, how do you do that in your life, right? Like I said, for me, it was simply as sometimes stepping back during lunch and saying, and I was not always there. There were times I would go from the 9 to 5 or at the end of the day and like, whoosh, what just happened? Like, did I achieve anything at the end of it? You know, you were busy, but did you achieve anything? And to step back every few minutes, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours, and say, you know what, I accomplished this, 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 this. So you make yourself feel good because you did accomplish. You know you're on track. And have you always noticed, if you'll have ever noticed this, have you ever noticed this? Sometimes you'll have a very fruitful 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You've not accomplished the last item on your list, but because that's the freshest and the fact that you've not accomplished it, it still makes you feel down. And that is that negative self-talk that you must learn to catch. Like I've learned to catch that right now. And that's the way I catch it. I encapsulate everything that I did in the last 2 hours, last half day, everything that I achieved. I put little tick boxes and say, okay, I got through this, 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 this. One more bit. And sometimes when you step back, you realize that the little thing that you're trying to achieve it helps you see that, you know what, that's not so time sensitive for right now. Yes, you want to do that, but maybe that's important for today, or you want to get in touch with that friend maybe in the next 2, 3 days, not right now. So stepping back helps you regain that balance. It's always a trick. It's not a life certificate. It's something you have to achieve every day, every moment. But stepping back helps you reconfirm that you have achieved what you've achieved. And having achieved what you've achieved doesn't come simply. Like Eric has often said, it comes with meditation in the morning. It comes with thinking the night before. What's my goal? Where am I going? Am I on track? Once you're clear with that, stepping back few moments during the day, sometimes morning 10 o'clock ideal, 12, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then when you're heading back home, helps you to step back and say, hey, I didn't achieve the world, but you know what? For today, I was on track. And that is the consistency part, staying on track with little bits, small bits at a time.
What I love about, and y'all better write this in your notebook, because she taught us, is that we often fall out of balance looking forward instead of looking back at our accomplishment. If the night before we set our agenda and then middle of the day we're feeling out of balance, go back to that agenda and go, wait a minute, no, I'm right where I need to be. I said I was going to do that, 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 that. I've got that, 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 that down. I can take a breath. I can feel proud of this part of my life, whether it's my work, my fitness, my family, my finance. I can feel proud of that. I can feel as if I'm moving in that direction that I want to go to. So now I'm free to shift my energy to another place because I feel accomplished in this one space. But when we are looking at that one last undone task or that thing that we really want to accomplish that's really tomorrow or later in the day, we don't get that sense of accomplishment that we can then have confidence to move out of that zone and into the next zone of our life that's being needed.
And sometimes when we are able to acknowledge ourselves, we are our greatest champion. We are our greatest support. And that's when we get the energy to move confidently towards the next task, because we know we're walking with ourselves as achievers.
Walking with ourselves as achievers. I think we need a t-shirt on that one. Walking with ourselves as achievers. I like that. Walk with yourself as an achiever today and every day. And that will bring and restore balance to your life. And I agree. I often fall out of balance because I get so fixated, so focused on one little thing that everything else has to fall apart until I accomplish it, that if I would just stop long enough and look back and go, wait a minute, I've got 10 out of the 11 things I've accomplished. I can let this one go for 30 minutes to move into the next one.
Absolutely. You and your energy. Go ahead.
No.
I was just going, you and your energy as you move forward is more important than the 100 items on your list. If you are fully with your energy, the next 100 items will get done in the best way possible. If you're not with your energy, even the next 10 items will seem like a struggle.
I like that when you can look at your achievements, you recharge your energy so that you can be more fully aware of what's going on around you. So if you guys do the day timer thing, if you do the project list, or if you have a notepad, make sure it's not just a list of what to do, but also a list of what you did do in each of those areas. I often like to coach that it's, fitness, family, faith, and finance, and then future or career. Look at those areas and say, wait a minute, yeah, I did do some time with my family. Yes, I did do something for my family. I did do something for my fitness. I did do something for my faith, and I did do something about my future. Maybe I didn't do all 12 tasks, but I did 9, I did 8, I did 7, but I did do something. So it's now safe for me to move out of family and into finance, or out of finance and into faith, or whatever area you're going through. And also remember, we don't need to be in balance every moment, every hour. We need to look at the bigger picture and say, this thing, whether it's our family or faith or fitness or finance or future, is calling me more because I need to be there. Just like if you have multiple children, sometimes one kid demands more attention than the other, but that doesn't mean you starve the other one to death while you're focused on the other. You just maybe give more energy to this one area so that you can then finish that task and move into the other area. Thank you, Louisa. So I know you have a busy morning, kids to get on buses and all of the crazy things that you manage to do so gracefully and so wonderfully. And because I know you personally, you always do it with such love and joy.
Thank you.
Before we close out, you're teaching a mastermind coming up, yes?
Yes. I recently, I love 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and I recently discovered Think and Grow Rich. So that's not part of John Maxwell, but I found that moved me so much. So I'm actually marrying both of them together to start a mastermind.
Oh, you guys need to be in that. Think 15 Laws and Think and Grow Rich mashup. I'm signing up. I'm signing up.
Eric, I'd love to have you.
I have never thought, ooh, I might have to steal that as a teaching.
It's all.
I mean, Think and 15 Laws, those are like two of my go-to books. So I think so do us a favor, drop the lesson login information in the comments after we sign up so people can be a part of it, okay?
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, guys, that's a powerful mashup. Think and Grow Rich and 15 Laws of Growth. You're going to be growing into your richness. Oops, yes. See, even Dr. Kelly says, ooh, so good. And if Dr. Kelly says, ooh, so good, she'll also say, be sure to take good care of yourself, if you know Dr. Kelly. So tune into Jean's Facebook every Monday through Friday. And you're at what time? I always forget because I have to get you on the replay.
Around 6:15.
6:15, because she's a working mom. And I want to thank you for giving us so much of your time this morning. I know you're busy and you've got a lot going on. You've done a phenomenal job. You have become a master at Facebook teaching and leadership. And I want to thank you for giving us your time this morning. You even got Nathan Cook out of bed to watch you.
Wow, Nathan, it's great because I loved you on stage. You had such beautiful energy. That's great.
Yeah, and for Nathan, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know Nathan's probably still in his. I'm sure Nathan's pajamas have bow ties, so he'll be well dressed no matter how he is.
That's so true. That's so true. Hello to Helen. Hello, Louisa, Holly, and Pramina, and Anu, Glynis, all my friends. Thank you for joining on and being there.
Yeah, so do a favor for me before you guys sign out or later today. Make sure you share this out so everybody gets to see the phenomenal class that Jean's going to post in just a minute on the 15 Laws of Growth and Think and Grow Rich. And I want to thank you again for being my friend and being my guest this morning and for continuing to grow yourself and impacting others. You're doing amazing at it, and I couldn't be a prouder papa.
Yes, you are, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. You're a proud papa coach, though.
Thank you. It has been a gift. Until we get together, you guys, tomorrow on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, go out and live today with success. And remember what Jean said, being in balance is about acknowledging our accomplishments, taking time to reflect, and then recentering ourselves around what our really big goals are and moving to that.
Perfectly said. Absolutely. Perfectly encapsulated. All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
everybody. I love you all. Bye.